like that, that is kind of, or any kind of script that is kind of executing, it executes in a virtual sandbox environment. It will not be able to kind of touch the base files or make any kind of changes in the system settings of your computer. Okay, so that's what kind of browser sandbox mean. So browser sandbox stops any kind of a script like this script. Like suppose this is a script which is trying to delete, let's say it is trying to delete all the files in the drive. So the browser sandbox will not allow this script to kind of touch any of the files in the systems. Okay, so there are a lot of things that kind of that is happening right now. Once we kind of visit this web page, just a single web page, there are a lot of things happening in the background. So there are like HTML script that is getting passed, the CSS script, the Java scripts, and the images are getting downloaded and whatnot. Okay, so that's all like how the browser kind of interpret any kind of a website. Now the thing is that when I talked about the like how the content delivery network, how the Facebook and Facebook works. So one of the thing is that I will suggest you guys is that so thing is that I know like we are not a developer, we are not kind of a, we will not be developing any kind of a software, a big, very big massive software. We'll all in most of the cases, most scenario. But the thing is that what I will suggest you guys is that uh, for most of the important stuff like WhatsApp, let's say YouTube, or let's say YouTube, or let's say Facebook. Okay, I will suggest you guys is that go through a few of the article like how the system design, how the WhatsApp has been designed in background. Okay, so thing is that like then you will be kind of understanding that like if you see like okay, there are a lot of components in the WhatsApp. Like okay, obviously like there are IP addresses in place, OSI model, TSP and UDP, what we already understand here and all from a security point of view. But then from a developer point of view, there are a lot of things happening like load balancing of the server load. Then there is like a lot of caching involved. Content delivery network is kind of involved, that is kind of handling the video serving of the web page of the WhatsApp or images serving of the WhatsApp. So the WhatsApp data is not kind of directly coming out from the WhatsApp server, but it is kind of somewhat delivered from the CDN. So to keep the load of the original WhatsApp server to pretty low. Okay. Then there are proxy, and then there are a lot of challenges like ability challenges, how to kind of make sure that the WhatsApp server will be always 24/7 available. How the web server will be kind of scalable, so that if they're like, let's say today there are like 100 users, and let's say after a few months there are 1 lakh user. So how the web server will scale, how the database will scale. Okay, so that's all thing is also kind of over here, like how the storage will be configured, what kind of database will be kind of utilized, like DBMS or any kind of like relational database, or what kind of SQL or NoSQL database will be set up. So let's say in WhatsApp there are like, if you see there are 2 kind of database that are being used, like SQL and NoSQL. So in which scenario we'll use the SQL, in which scenario we'll not use the SQL, or we'll go for the NoSQL. So those all things kind of thing is that we need to know. Okay, and how the database will be replicated. Let's say there's a database over here in India, and we want that okay, if that database goes bad, we don't lose the data. So what we do is that we try to configure at the background that okay, there is a replication that is happening from the master database to the secondary database. Okay, in case the master database get failed, the data will be served from the secondary database. Okay, then there are a lot of things that is happening like indexes. For example, indexes I mean is like how quickly we can kind of search for anything in the WhatsApp. Okay, so they're like, that's where the indexes algorithms comes in picture. And then like some databases concept like acid property and all, and like patchless, and then how the transaction will happen, distributed transaction and all. And thing is that then a lot of the concepts come around, like in the database, like what do you mean by sorting? Sorting means like chunking the database, the big database into smaller chunks. Okay, then kind of like what do you say? What kind of algorithms are being used to kind of for faster searches, like hashing and all. Okay, and then there are a lot of other things that is kind of working in the background in the WhatsApp, like for example the pub sub model. So pub sub model means that my uh, publish model, which what means that let's say I send out a message to my friend. So this is what I'm publishing. I'm publishing a message. Subscribe means that my script that is running on my app will be kind of polling the web server at a regular interval to check like if there's any kind of a new uh, message or anything over there. So that's where the PubSub model is, what you mean by the PubSub model. And then there are a lot of other things like monoliths and microservices, like will the WhatsApp server run on the web server, on the actual web server, or are the components of the WhatsApp, like different components like chats or let's say groups, are they handled by different containers? Okay, so that's all thing will be kind of there are a lot of things kind of happening in the WhatsApp. I will tell you the reason why I am kind of going through that. Okay, then so this is something monolith and microservices. Then there are a lot of like API requests, like get and post requests. So how will we kind of handling that? Like what will be the basics get and post requests that will be kind of raised by the client? Okay, and then to make the web server fast, like what all things will do is like long calling or web or will be kind of would the data will be transferred over WebSockets or over the normal HTTP web server headers. So there are a lot of things that are just inside the WhatsApp. Okay, so before to just understand the WhatsApp system design, there are a lot of components that a person needs to understand. Okay, and the thing is that I will suggest you guys is that there is a specific book which was like really good. Let me just go to that. Uh, uh, okay, I think I'm not getting that right now, the specific book that I was looking for, but I will kind of share that thing with you. Okay, and thing is that why I'm telling you this is that, so as we know, as a security professional, definitely we understand this part like IP, OSI, TCP, UDP, DNS, and all. As a developer, the person also needs to know that. Okay, and then there are like a lot of components that are kind of working inside, like load balancing, CDN, and all what I was discussing. So thing is that why I am kind of discussing all this is that this will actually be really helpful in your in your SOC career, like understanding the system design of the major softwares like WhatsApp, Twitter, Netflix, and Uber. The reason is that in most of the scenario, what we will be doing is that we will be kind of handling a lot of cases where, let's say, a service that was provided to the client got hacked or got compromised. For example, let's say the WhatsApp, we are handling the security of WhatsApp company. Okay, Meta company, for example, the division of WhatsApp. And so thing is that if we know what are the core components that are kind of working in the background, we will be kind of knowing multiple things. So let's start that one by one. So let's say we now know that okay, there's a load balancing that is normally used by a very big softwares. So thing is that in the load balancing, so we know that okay, load balancing should be there. So we ask the team, okay, guys,